on my first step ever. This is such a surreal feeling to be recording this episode today because we are on a great milestone we have achieved today. This is the 175th episode of my first step ever, almost 5 years in since this amazing, interesting journey began with you and all of us over here. And today it has become even more special because of this enigmatic and very vibrant and a very empowered force that we have on my first step ever. Jacopo Iasiello with us. So, Jacopo, I would like to you to introduce yourself. I hope I have done justice to pronouncing your name.
First of all, you do I need to tell you, you did a really good job because 175 episode of one podcast is really, really long time and working really hard for what you do. Quindi, first of all, good job. Second of all, my name is Jacopo Iasiello. Yeah, you pronounce correctly. Really, really, my story starting in Napoli, where I grew up, where I create my life until the 28, 29, growing over there with a lot of love from family, grandfather, mother, and everybody near me. And starting my creativity life because I want to become in professional soccer. When I want to become in professional soccer, I take one path from 7 years old until 17 years old, where I working really hard, wake up early, do sport every day, with only this dream, becoming professional soccer. 17 years old, everything changed in my life. Big injury, moving forward, I need to find another way. I need to find another option. And because I coming for life from creativity, from the divine, whatever you want to call, I understand the point to create is the most important part. And what's happening at that time, I started to realize only from business, you possible really becoming more powerful because you have a more possibility to create more abundance. And for this reason, I opened one shop without money, slept on the second floor with less than 100K in my bank account because I make the big mistake. Everybody, they told you don't make location. I opened the shop in the wrong position, and I slept on the second floor after 6 months with debt. And from over there, thanks to my hero, my father, he lent me some money, 8,000 euro. Over there, I open another, the big company and everything starting from over there. Moving 22 in the real estate. And after I jump from the other part of the world, I divide my life into parts. The first one and the second one from the other part of the world, the United States, where I started my career in real estate, investment, and I becoming, financial freedom and create, abundance for me, my life, and other people around me.
That's really intriguing, Jacopo. And first of all, I like to say that thank you so much for giving us a quick glimpse of, what all you have done in your professional career so far and what really intrigued you in the first half of your career and what really made you to take that jump in the second half of the career. So what we hear right now is someone who is a curious creator and someone who wants to go there and do big stuff and really make something that can impact other people, also help other people, but also be able to expand his own horizon. So now this is what I love to do, is kind of dig deep into these amazing milestones up until maybe the first half of your life and then the second half, because that's where we get to know that how did Jacopo really strive through those ups and downs, and why did you do certain things, and how did you overcome those particular challenges. So I'm excited to take this journey with you, Jacopo. And before I start with my first question, which will be back tracing our steps to the very beginning of Jacopo's exciting journey, I like to give a quick sneak peek from my end about you. So Jacopo he hails from Naples, Italy, and his journey from adversity to prosperity is truly inspiring. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. He's an entrepreneur since age 11, as he mentioned, and he pivoted from a soccer career to building a successful jewelry business by 18 and later mastering real estate by 22. all we have heard from him today. But then, with a PhD in international business management and insights from legends like Tony Robbins, he developed the MPBE method: meditate, morning, prayer, biohacking, and exercise, combining personal growth and financial success. So, let us get ready to now jump into Jacopo's amazing journey, because you know what, from what I've heard so far, Jacopo, we always think that we can only think of ourselves in one particular profession throughout our life, and we have to pick something. But I see that you have actually, welcomed different professions in your life, and that is so amazing and very early on. So let's begin with Jacopo. Please take us through your growing up days. We know that you are from Naples, so let us know that what was the mindset of the people that you were growing up with, and how did that affect you or shape you as a growing child at that point in time?
Yeah, first of all, I want to tell you something. When I start in my early life, I live because in soccer, in the soccer field, when I grow up, I hang out with people they coming from poverty. What this means, I don't know if you know, but like sport like soccer in Italy, in Europe, the majority, not everybody, but the majority people they are playing, they are people they wanna come out from poverty, like how it's over here in baseball or basketball in United States. Now, what's happening? My first part, I don't realize what it means abundance, but I have this designs because I stay with these young people where they have different kind of mentality. But I have this desire to create over here. I 11 years already. I read a story, but I don't know why I have this inside. And the big change is really starting when I, need abandon my dream to becoming professional soccer. And my family, what they do, they moving me because I live for from 14 years old until 17 in another city in Italy. And when I come back to the house, they told me, and they, I go in one school where a lot of rich people, young, rich people they are. And what's happening, I see this big difference from where I coming from, okay, and these other different characteristic of people. And what's happening, I started to feel really crumbling inside because I want something I don't possible have, they have, and starting some kind of anger inside me. Okay, I want. But this anger I translate in energy. What this means when I decide with the clarity, okay, they have a beautiful life, they have everything I want. I becoming from normal family. Means my father is an engineer, my mother is teaching. I never missing nothing in my life, but I see I want, what they have. And this anger I translate in energy from over there. This anger is coming opportunity because I want to, grow up my life in a better position. I want more money. I want, at that time, I don't understand why I want more money because now I understand I want a more love. This is reality. And I starting to go through this clear path of create business because I understand, because I see these people, the father of them, they are entrepreneur and they make good money, and I realize in my mind, okay, people they are entrepreneur, they possible have a good life because they traveling around, have this thing. And this is the mindset in my first step of my life change completely. Sometimes suffering give you opportunity to grow, but you need to understand the suffering. And when you understand the suffering, if you have this anger, people they tell is no good. It's not good if you utilize not correctly, but if you utilize correctly, becoming power.
This is a very, very deep topic, a very deep discussion, and I am so glad that we have just started on a really good, very, very interesting note, because I think anyone who's listening to us today or watching us today, we all go through that emotion, and a lot more often than any other while we are growing up, because there's so many things that we would want to do, we would want to say, but there are so many other people or the voices telling us not to do certain things. And that is a kind of emotion that is mostly, we feel that emotion very, very often as compared to other emotions. So I would love to kind of, ask you this question, that when you said that, how it is okay to have an emotion like anger, but how you can translate it into something that is helpful for you to grow in life. This is so important. So I would like to understand that, Jacopo, if you can maybe go back to the time when you were feeling this emotion, how, who, or what led you to understand that I need to utilize this in the correct way, because people who are listening to us would really benefit from this.
What's happening is this one. I remember like yesterday, when I received this kind of emotion inside me, and I'm so open, and I understand everybody they are outside over there where they want something, they want to realize something, and sometimes they don't realize, sometimes they feel frustrated. Because what's happening, the frustration, like the anger, is part of our life. Now, how is important to change this kind of emotion? I will tell you with only one word: action. Okay? But before the action, you need the two step before: research, grow, and after you will do action. And the fourth one is the part when light is already in your life, is contribution. What this means is this one. When we have this kind of emotion inside us, and at that time for me is a really powerful emotion where I feel, something is missing in my life, something I want. I remember my father give me 25 euros every week to my expense. And people I hang out at that time, when I come back to soccer, they, the father and the mother, they have like maybe 200 euro. Yeah, like, big difference. I need to save each penny to understand where I possible go. I know really well the suffering about, from starting young age. What this means, translate anger to energy, is really the capacity to do action in our life, to understand, clarify really a goal, where we want to go, or which idea we have, put on the paper, and starting to work, research, grow, and after do action. But without this, the energy, the anger, or the frustration remaining over there. And what's happening, a lot of people when becoming aging, they have a lot of this frustration, this anger on top of the shoulder, and they are stuck, they don't moving anymore, they are like this. What this means for somebody young, they want to really have this kind of emotion, they need the work to direct this emotion in something where this emotion disappear. What this means, if you want to becoming something in something, start it to research, grow, and after do action. And result will arrive. Based in the result, you will decide if the path is continue to go, or if the path is moving another path.
Super clear, concise, and crisp, Jacopo. Thank you so much for breaking that down. And I believe for every young person out there, or even young people at heart who are out there listening to us, this is, I think the crux comes down to the point that, staying in a certain emotion for a really long time, and when it's a kind of an emotion that probably is not helping you feel better in life, it's not going to be good. And that's what you have given us the tool of, that you pause, that you reflect, you think, okay, now I need to do something about this. You need to take an action, but before you take an action, you need to research that what do you want to do about it. So I love the fact that how you have very clearly and in a very concise way helped us find a way to convert those feelings and emotions in the way that they can serve us well. Now, before I move on in your journey, and I ask you a few more questions, I actually would like to kind of uh, hop a few steps back a little in your journey, because he speaks so well about emotions and how you have been able to create tools and techniques to manage your emotion. I want to ask one question over here. You said that for a very long period of time while you were growing up, you had this very very strong vision and a feeling of being the soccer player, the ultimate soccer player, but you had to abandon that particular dream, as you mentioned. And I think a lot of us can relate with that, because we know something that we have also abandoned at some point in time. How did you feel about it then, and what do you bring from that particular situation or incident now in your life that helps you feel empowered, even though you had to kind of abandon at that point in time?
Yeah, I need to tell you something. The feeling at that time I have somewhere in my body now. When I go back, I have the capacity with my mind, with my body to go back at that age, really, in my mind. And I remember like yesterday what's happening when, I receive from a doctor, two options. One option, he told me, you possible continue to play soccer, but probably you don't walk correctly. You possible have some kind of problem when you will walk. And the other one, he told me, I suggest, because you are a young man with new life, to finish your career. At that time, everything in my world collapsed completely. Think about one baby for 7 years old. Think about every day. I see already my life in the stadium with people. The emotion is something different over there. What helped me really, because in our step of our life we have some hero every time, and at that time my hero is two. My father continued to be my hero, and my mother bring she told me, some word really important at the time, where she told me, you will succeed wherever you do, don't worry.
Love this.
And from
Love
over
this.
there, I'm moving, and I understand life is up and down. And another thing really important now I have a friend, they have, multimillionaire people, billionaire in some case, two people. But now I don't have any more the anger. I don't have any more frustration, because probably they have billionaire, they have more, or they have more thing. And now I explain why. Because in reality, we are similar, and the only difference from one human being to another is the capacity to focalize in something. And some people, they focalize in create business that they receive billionaire result. Other people, they focalize in business, they becoming a multimillionaire. Other one, they starving. Now the point from these three different kind, for example, the entrepreneur, is this one. Each one, through the journey, they need to have the peace and the love to go through. If one of them don't have this characteristic, means they missing some part of their life. And now I will go deeply in this. Means something, wherever you do during the journey, to have really big success is means something different for everybody. For me, success is means freedom. For freedom to moving wherever I want, decide what I want to give for everybody, what I want. For other people means something different. Maybe have a big company with 1 million people inside. I don't know. But it's important to understand for the young people, the journey when you go through your dream need to be empowerful, need to be okay. Someday you will feel bad, but another day you wake up with your chest, you are energized, you are happy to moving forward in your life, and you have this kind of emotion inside you bring you slowly at the next level. Important, don't forget the journey, because a lot of people, believe me, yesterday I have a really deeply conversation with one really rich human being, where some of them, they missing the journey, and the journey is so fast like this, and if you don't take care, you will forget all the process, and you will arrive at some age, sometime in some point of your life, where you will see back, probably you have wherever you want money wise, but you don't feel good, because during your journey you don't enjoy. This is important, believe me.
This is gold, and I believe this is what we want everyone, our listeners and viewers, to understand through this podcast. That what we're trying to bring, that success means different to different people. And the reason we dig deep into the behind the scenes, the journey of our guest speakers, is because to let them know that why they are where they are today is because of the definition of the success, that either that changed along the line for them, or whatever they believed in, they stuck through it and they made it. And whatever happened in between, they did not give up. And the journey is very challenging. And it's always, whether you do something that you really want, whether you do not do something that you don't want, but on both these journeys, you will face challenges. So I think the question is, which one is worth fighting for? So thank you, Jacopo. I think, first of all, it was a really tough decision that you had to make at a very young age. That really shows your power to, be able to maybe keep your emotions aside and think through the journey ahead and make a decision on that basis of that. And after that, you have taken us through a very deep and important message that success definition is different. Even though while you're chasing your financial freedom, a goal of being a millionaire or billionaire, if you have done that in the right way, which means you know what the success really looks like for you, you are content in that journey of reaching that place, you would be very happy with where you are. But if you have not aligned with what happiness is for you and just hitting that goal because everyone else is, even if you reach there, which is great, but it won't still feel like you wouldn't feel happy. So thank you so much for sharing that, Jacopo. And I think moving on from here, I love to kind of understand from you, uh, because whenever we do something for the very first time, there's a lot of anxiousness and a lot of how are we going to do this, ifs and buts. When you really wanted to create a business and your jewelry business by the age of 18, that had happened for the very first time before you got into real estate, did you face any challenges or did you face any self-doubts? If yes, how did you overcome that?
Yeah, first of all, the way, think about something. Everybody starting something have the same emotion. They don't know where to go, what they need to do, research, whatever. I don't know what I do, where I starting, whatever. The place of everything, starting to study. Okay, the most powerful history technique, history, human being create something so important is because they study something. If you see some kind of successful, wealthy human being, wealthy community, they are wealthy not because they are smart, but because they study. What it means study is so important. Understand when you do something, read everything, understand the process. Now we have in this world where the information is free. Before you need, I remember when I starting at 18 years old, I have 41 now. I go through all the fair of jewelry, and I am not jewelers. I speak, I go to shop, and I tell to the people, the owner of the shop, hey, tell me a little bit. And one guy told me, oh, you are not good. Another one, no, I don't want to tell you. What, slowly, I try to understand. In reality, I have the for example, when I starting the jewelry, I have my second big drop in my life, because I have all this desire. I ask to my family. My family, they want they want a becoming professional, lawyer, doctor, whatever. And I feel your accent. You are from India, I think so,
Mm,
originally,
that's right.
And I
Yes.
know everybody over there, like they wanna becoming doctor or engineer, like similar to Italy, And I moving. And I tell them something different. And what's happening? My another stop I have, I really feel hurt inside when I take money from government of Italy without ask money to my family to demonstrate, hey, I'm capable. Plus, I do win-win situation where I tell my mother and my father, don't worry, I will be a doctor. I will take my PhD in the same time. I wake up
Amazing.
early, study. I do really. And after what's happening, I make the first mistake. Why? Because I don't research correctly. I understand the business, everything. I know the business we will work, how I think about, but what I do, I don't research another part, position it correctly, the shop. And I make the mistake. And what's happening over there, I feel this other kind of emotion where I need to go back to my family and I don't want to go back. I slept on the floor, on the second floor of the shop, not because my family didn't want, but because I feel hurt. I don't want to tell, hey, I make a mistake. But over there, I learn another thing important. When you make a mistake, try to change rapidly. Don't stay on this kind of emotion. Do another action. Okay, with the mind, don't do like a crazy. But if you're missing some part, study this part correctly. Understand how I doing at that age without this clear path, and I think about, okay, the business working. Why? Because I see the guy make money. I see this other guy make money. I see this other guy make money. I speak with them and they confirm in some way. But I have something missing over here. Which is the part missing? I realize the location and I'm moving the location. And this is another part I have in my life. Means now when something happening in my life, something is no go how I want, and I study correctly, everything means I'm missing some other part of the information. And in the business is sometimes it's easy, in life is not like easy like this, but I think so this is so important because the important to change rapidly and don't stay with the emotion of frustration when you make some mistake is important. Moving a step, and you will create another time. It's important to create this energy in your body where win give you win, lost if you have for a long time in your body will give other loss because you discourage yourself.
Wow, Jacopo, I just want to I just want to keep listening to you because I'm so glad I asked this question to you, because I think what you have just shared with us is a masterclass for any person who wants to start a business, or any marketer, over here, because what you mentioned is the very crux of getting your audience, getting your product right, as you mentioned, and as you've already figured in your journey about what's important in location as well. But keeping the business aspect intact, we went a little bit more deep, one more layer deep, which was about having a mindset that only helps you move forward. And even if you hit n number of times, even if you fall n number of times, how you can still move forward, which is just keep working on and do your research. And if there is a mistake that you have done, fail, but fail fast. This is so amazing. I think I really liked, whenever you speak this, you have this very positive vibe, in your thoughts, in the way you speak, and it shows in the actions and how you have created your own journey. I'm so glad that the last couple of minutes that we've spent together, we could kind of uncover a lot about the first half of your journey, and we are very close to the end of this particular episode, but I do like to quickly touch upon the second half of your journey. If we can get a little bit of brief and peek into it before we wrap up this episode, I just wanted to love to understand a bit more about your journey in the USA, the new place that you had begun, your next phase of journey. If you can take us through that, any top 3 learnings from that journey that you can share with our listeners today?
A lot of learning. I'm becoming another human being when I arrive in United States, and I will explain why. Uh, why I coming over here? First of all, I coming over here because think about from zero. I create this company in Italy where I make success. After starting to lose revenue, my business, and in real estate too. And what's happening? I have 2 options: remaining in Italy. Already I create some form of wealth, and take normal path. But I have inside me this creativity. I want create more. Where I need create more, I started to research every time too. Now I started to see opportunity around me like a shark, good shark, not bad shark. What's happening? I research and I see one article in internet, and I see over here United States you have one website called Zillow. Zillow is give you the number of the price of the property, and I read this article, and this article talk about the drop of the property from the subprime mortgage in United States. This is happening in 2008, 2009, the
Recession.
subprime mortgage. Yeah, recession. And recession for a lot of people is like afraid, and other people they becoming really wealthy. And what's happening is this one. I see this article, read in 2011, immediately after I read this article, because I read around 2010, after like couple of months, I take one fly and I leave to coming over here in United States to understand this kind of opportunity about real estate. I arrive over here, don't speak English, don't have connection, don't know lawyer, don't know don't know anybody. It's not my country. I'm proud from this country. God bless America, but it's not my country. And I arrive over here, and I don't really need to coming over here. I want, but not really I want. I have this desire. I don't understand why I have this desire. Now I understand, because I arrive over here and the opportunity, not initially, after 2, 3, 4 years, after I go back to Italy, America, because I have my business in Italy, go back, slowly, through relationship, the door slowly is open, and after everything is coming, and I know I do more, the 355 flipping, create my cash flow and everything. But the part is this one: the emotion when I arrive here becoming so deeply dark, because I don't understand why I do this movement, because I explained I really don't need it.
Yeah.
I want it. And what's happening, how I'm moving from the situation where I feel another time frustrated, nobody know me, is the same clear path, starting to do research and action. And this emotion, when you are in the flow, everything, they go out now. I know how it's important utilize some kind of technique, because at that time I becoming light for me and a light other human being, and I assembled this method, and I wrote in the book MPB over there in this big suffering where I slept on the floor, because through phone, the people from the light, they don't understand my English, because at that time I don't speak English, and I don't know, I slept on 2 days on the floor, and this kind of emotion give me now a clear path, and now I have this method I assembled, where I every day, if I feel sad, if I feel more energized, if I don't have energy, whatever, I utilize, and another time, boom, I jump in and I feel with my energy in my body,
What a great journey, Jacopo, from being into a new place to learning a new language, and now you're acing it with every podcast, with every keynote session that you have, and the conversations and the people that you're meeting. And I think one takeaway from this episode for me personally would be doing your research and then studying and getting and taking an action. I can clearly see how that has got you through where you are, and love the fact that you have always been that person who has taken the action. That is what kind of shifts the needle. So thank you so much, Jacopo. I think there is so much to talk about to get into your journey, but I'm so glad that we could get some time today and understand a lot about your journey, and especially the humanity that you bring while you share your journey. You speak about the challenges in your life and how you overcame it. I love the thing, where the way you say things, it just sounds like those situations have just empowered you to become even more humble and just stay grounded and just keep continuing, be focused on what you are doing. So this is amazing, from defining your success of from to the feeling of anger to wanting the money, and now understanding that what you really want is the success, is freedom, that you want to be anywhere and time that you said. So that is amazing journey. Thank you so much for being on my first step ever. I always request my guest speakers to leave my listeners with a quote or a saying that they really resonate with. So if you could please share a quote that you would like to share.
What do you, sorry, if you possible repeat for me.
Yeah. If there's any quote or a saying that you really resonate with, if you can share that with my listeners today.
Yeah, I have one quote really beautiful I love. This quote is from Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is somebody really wealthy, where through emotion he navigating his journey, but is a different kind. The entrepreneur is investor because is an emotional investor. Sometimes we think about the investor or the entrepreneur need to be like somebody like rude or somebody like strict. It's not this. And this is the example. He told something so important. Now I tell you, like he told one quote where he explained like how is important the process. And now in this moment I don't remember correctly how is important go through the emotion and the suffering, because after the emotion and the suffering you will find and you will becoming somebody more smart and more intelligent in business and in life. And meditation, in particular I do meditation transcendentally, one process to have this capacity to have more clarity in your life. It's not really, I don't share with you a quote, but share with you this message from this guy. And you guys is over there, read something about Ray Dalio, because he combined not only money, but he combined spirituality. Means people with money, they are more time you don't know spiritual human being, because they create. When you create, you are spiritual.
Love it. I love that we are ending this episode on such a powerful note, and that is a method that I think we would love to learn a bit more about. So I'm going to leave a link about Jacopo definitely in the show notes, and I know that you are very intrigued by his journey. And thank you so much for being on the podcast, Jacopo. And to all my listeners out there, thank you so much for staying up till now. And as I always say, start believing in yourself and keep believing in yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jacopo. Please do give ratings and please do write your comments. And you can directly reach out to me on my first step ever _IN. That's my Instagram handle. A little about myself. I have always loved performing on stage, acting, speaking, and just emoting myself. So I use these medium different ways so that I can connect with people, help them, empower them, infotain them, which is to inform them and entertain them. If you would like to collaborate for any opportunities, more than welcome to connect with me on my Instagram handle. Thank you.